Hi, folks. Welcome back. Seven Rivers Racing Show here on KQEG-TV. I'm Dan Dyker along with Al Losi. I want to remind you, you can find the show on youtube.com/Seven Rivers Racing. And I'll throw a little plug in. If you want to find out the latest in racing on Saturdays, join me on 580 WKTY from 4 to 5 every Saturday as I bring in the race report from green to checkered, everything in between. Not only interviews from local drivers, but drivers from all over the place. Coming up, we're going to get Jim Trito from Speed Channel is going to be joining us. He was at Dover last weekend. Congratulations, Matt Kenseth, by the way. And Ross Kenseth is going to be joining us on a future program here, so you want to tune in 4 to 5s on Saturday. I do want to make mention, before we bring in Greg Oliver, our guest in the program today, some of you are aware that Alicia, Kevin, and Madeline Weintracht lost their 5-month-old baby boy Noah Paul on Monday, May 9th from SID, sudden infant death syndrome. And this weekend, he drives the number 29 NASCAR Quick Trip late model at La Crosse Fairgrounds Speedway. Steve Owen and wife Stacy Ray. Steve's going to be racing in Noah's memory Saturday night, and we'll have a donation bucket set up in Steve's pit stall, which he pits next to Todd Korish by the hamburger stand. And if you want to help out the family in their time of need, I would highly recommend, as I'll be stopping by the number 29 of Steve Owen's pit stall and dropping a donation in there for the Weintracht family. It's always a tough thing when you lose a child, especially one that's part of the racing community at La Crosse.
And racing is so family-oriented. This is something that the fans can get involved with, too. Just plan on, after the races, coming on down and throwing a couple of dollars into the bucket and help them out. And this is a wonderful thing that Steve and his wife are doing.
Well, talking about the racing family, one that I've known that's been there longer than I have, I think I'm 6 or 7 years deep in La Crosse Fairgrounds Speedway, that's been flagging there ever since I've been there, is our guest on the program today for two different reasons. We're going to talk flagging and track operation. Greg Oliver from the Excalibur Speedway joins us. Greg, nice seeing you.
Nice to see you guys.
Well, you've seen us get rained out several times at La Crosse, and I know that's also put a damper on the Excalibur Speedway, and we're going to talk about the Speedway's operations. First and foremost, let's quash the rumor mill right now. Is Excalibur racing in 2011?
Yes, we are. We are racing in 2011. We're ready to make some noise up there.
The text messages, the emails, the websites have been blowing up for the past, I think, 7 or 8 weeks on the rumor mill going, because I've heard it ever since I've lived here since 05, and they are going to get up and running, but we're going to have a conversation with Mother Nature first before we can get things going there. First off, you flagged for quite a many years. How did you get interested in throwing the flags at a racetrack?
I worked for the Speedway in 1999 just as a tech official, and the flagman we had at the time, Lefty Krybeck, Drew's dad, he took a different job out of town, and they needed a flagman, and I thought, that might be kind of fun, an interesting way to watch the races and get to know the drivers. And I tell you, it's the best seat in the house. I'm not sure that I would trade that for any place.
Is it one of those? I mean, obviously announcing. I've done that for a long time, along with radio. So it's something you get used to. When you talk flagging, though, do you take courses? Did you have to take a class? You just can't jump up in the flag stand and know these flags correspond with this situation, and you have to know when to black flag somebody, when to just shake it at them. I mean, how did you learn all the intricacies of doing that?
Basically from racing for 20 years first. I think I had the flagmen that I raced under. You just pay attention to what they've done over the years, what you see as I've been to many different racetracks as a spectator. You watch and learn what seems to work and what doesn't work, and it just gets to be a rapport you get with the drivers, that they start to understand what you want and you understand what they need to make a race work.
Now, how many tracks have you worked? 'Cause I know I can think of 3 or 4 right off the bat.
I've obviously La Crosse. I used to fill in quite a bit up at Golden Sand Speedway, and then I do all the races for the Big 8 series. So there's another 6 or 7 tracks there that I've been to, and I get to add a new one this year down at Columbus. So,
oh really?
I've hit most of the paved tracks in Wisconsin now, I think. So.
Not a dirt fan?
I haven't had the opportunity yet.
Well, of course. Everybody has their own styles, and we're going to talk about Tom Powell for a minute. I've only met him twice, flagman from the Rockford Speedway that just passed away here recently. And you talk about style. This gentleman had his own style that if that was one of the first things you saw at a racetrack was his body language in the way that he would flag a race. And I know you have your style as well, but first off, let's talk about the passing of Tom Powell. What an intricacy to the word racing. Yeah,
Tom was very well known through the racing, nationally in the racing community. That will be a big void in the racing community. People, I've talked to people about Tom Powell's passing. They were like, I don't know who that is. I said, yes, you do. It's the guy, very animated flagman at Oktoberfest or the ASA Tours. Oh, yeah, we know Tom. We loved watching Tom.
Right.
And there are people that watch Tom more than the races sometimes. He understood the show side of racing as well as, just the racing part of it. So he was a lot of fun to watch.
And see, that's something you never really think of is, as an announcer, it's like I'm the ringmaster of the circus, and the circus performers are the race cars, and especially lacrosse, the things that Chuck Deary throws in, some of the special novelty events, and the media boat races, and the trailer races of destructions and things like that. But you never think of a flagman being actually a part of the show when you talk about the things you can do in the flag stand.
Right. I try to do a few things to communicate with the fans as well as the drivers, but there's not many people that can do it like Tom. And
right.
he was unique and special in what he did, and to try to compete with that or emulate that is I won't even try.
I think that what a lot of the competitors like is you do approach it a little bit more as a business side of things. You're a little more, you're going to control the action to make sure that those guys are racing clean and that they're racing hard. You don't throw a lot of yellows unless they're needed. And I think that's more of a businessman's view of things. Is that how you feel?
Right, and it is. And I try to, I can communicate directly with the drivers at any given time. And I try to calm them down and prevent them from doing, they're doing some silly things out there already. I try to stop them from doing the silly thing that's going to cost them some money. Doesn't always work out that way, but I've had drivers say, why are you talking to me on the radio? I said, I'm just trying to save you from the big ones. So I can't spot for them, but I try to help them out and keep them on the right path so we don't spend a lot of money that we don't have to.
Greg Oliver, flagman at the La Crosse Fairgrounds Speedway and flagman for many years, also the new race director at the Excalibur Speedway in Tomah, our guest in the program, and we're going to go knee-deep. If you've never seen the track, you're about to. Newly revamped and all ready for some tires to be thrown down on the track in Tomah. Al Losi, Dan Dyker, along with Greg Oliver on the program today. Stay with us. We're going to talk more about another track opening here in western Wisconsin when we return on the Seven Rivers Racing Show on KQEG.